Today we're going to look at Gkape. Cape can be used both through the command line and also as a GUI. And today I'm going to show you the GUI part of it. I like the GUI part. Um, we'll see how it goes here. So you have your target use locations here. So you have a use module of target and you have a use target options. Down here, this is the current command line. So once we start building this command line will start going. If all of the parameters are met, you can copy the command line and put it into a CDM and it'll run, or you can do an execute and it would automatically execute it for you. Excuse me. There's debug here, there's trace messages, zip passwords, ignore FTK warnings, retain local copies. This is a really good program for people that want to totally investigate what is going on. I actually found it really useful to use. So here we're going to do these target options here. So here I brought in browsers. We're going to do a target destination. It's going to go into the Kape folder. So it's going to go to my user, my C drive users, user desktop, Kape, and documentation. So I'll show you that once we get there. Flush, add. This checks to see if Kape will replace with the timestamp for uniqueness. The add sum, this is the machine name where Kape is executing. You have all of these different headers for the columns. So these are default targets. So you can go in and edit these, and I did. I edited it to Chrome because I wanted to show you what it does. And then you have your process, your duplicate, your containers. Right now I have it on none. You have your VDX, so this will copy all files into a container. Your VHD and your zip. This base name here only comes when you select on one of these other ones here, and it's a required one. You can zip the file, you can do it. I have it as none because we're doing a browser. You have processes where it can find and search for all shadow copies, and then you have where it can search for all duplicates. These are exclusions. So there's stuff in here that I'm excluding, like the hexes of this file that I'm going to be doing because I'm not actually pulling in a file. I'm pulling in an actual browser, as you can see here, that's Chrome. I'm not going to put any target variables. If you wanted to do transfer options where you can actually transfer your file, you have your SFTP and all the required fields here you would need to get to that. Your S3, you have your, which also has a general where you can put in all your regions, your providers, your comments, what bucket, required prefix. It has credentials, so you can put in an access key, an access secret, and a session token. So this is if you wanted to if you wanted to encrypt it. The AWS3, this, if you have a transfer and you have all of your information, you will see your transfer here. Your Azure storage, this is required because this gives you where you're going to store everything within that. So, and it tells you, it gives you little secrets too. So it gives you different areas of where you can store it. And that's if you select any one of these other containers up here, and then you can get to these two, or actually any of these. But like I said, for now, we're going to leave it on none because I'm doing a web browser. So I could have target variables in here. I could do a pairs of paths to Kape. I can have keys. I can have whatever I want. And then in here, I would select my key. And then here I would select my value. As we can see here, it is, oh, and this sync with GitHub is if you go in and you sync it and there's any new files, it will automatically update. I've already done that just so that I make sure that I'm up to date with everything on this. I have debug messages here. Again, I can do a zip to password to save it. I have trace messages, I have ignore, and I have the retain local copies. I'm not going to retain it, but so we can go here and we can do an execute. And this is going to come up and it's going to tell you one or more flush options are enabled. This means the contents of the model and destination will be deleted prior to Kape running. The contents targets destinations and it shows on you who will be deleted. Click OK to continue. I'm not going to because I already have it in our folder, which is right here. And we can open it up with Notepad or whatever we want. And this is going to tell you what came in. So when I ran it before and I saved it, it's going to have the GitHub, the docs, it's the URL name, the crawl. So this is where I went previously to get to this. And it will save it. You can save it anywhere you want as long as you have it in the documentation. Again, this is actually sitting on my desktop in the curl folder with Kape, and then it's into the documentation, and then this is what it was named. As you can see here, I have it as my desktop. It's in my Kape folder and in the documentation. This one, so we're going to go to this use module here. Module updates, I have stuff in here and I'm not gonna run this one only because, and you can discontinue this one and only run this one. And if you notice, the command lines are still, because I've already added stuff. But you could go in and you can add your module stores, your destination. You could pick any one of these. I'm not gonna run this because it does a big, huge file and it takes it a while to load, but I did the live response on here. You have a default with your export format so that you're exporting this out. Exports from, you have your CVS if you want to make it into an Excel spreadsheet. You have your HTML, which is like your text document type stuff, and you have your JSON, which is similar to HTML, but I'm finding that it has a little bit more capabilities and it's almost like I want to say it's almost like an AI in the way that it expresses. Again, you have your key, you have your value. You could put whatever variables you want in here. If you select on one of these, let's see if I can get it to come up. Nope. But if you were to type something in here, you did your key and your value, you could do add and it will add it to your command line down here. Again, you have your trace, your debug, you have your copy command, you have your sync with GitHub, and you have your execute. And then down here at the very bottom, you have your disable flush warnings. So that little warning that came up that I saved, where it told me that it would erase everything that was in there. You can disable this by doing that. I left mine because I wanted to show you the warning. And you don't want to erase everything every time in that documentation folder, especially if you want to keep it. So there's several different ways that you can do that. And that's where this transfer and these other and in the target options, that's where these come in handy, where you can do the same thing with these here. These would go to a different, this is right here where it says disabled. This actually will disable what you have on here. So I didn't want to disable any of my event logs or any of my other stuff. So that's why I'm not going to run this, because it will actually disable and I don't want it to disable anything. And again, here you have your add. on the different replace and your zips. And this is in your documentation down here. You can click to view your online documentation. You have the targets that are available. You have your targets selected. You have variables of 300 modules selected as one. This is if I run both of them together. If I take this down, it goes down a little bit, not much, but your 290 here is your targets are available or all of these. Target selected, I have one selected. Your module variables, which are these over here, there's 381 of those, but because I have one selected, it's showing, and it also has the module selected here. So this gives you an idea, like you can go in and you can also search multiple targets at once. You could go in and say like you wanted to do all of the Chrome extensions, you can do that as well. You could do your AVGs, your antivirus databases. There's so much that this can do, and this will this is actually really good. And this command line brings it up into a command prompt, and you can actually see it running. Like I said, I haven't done that. Let's see, we're gonna copy command. I should have brought up the command prompt. So this tells you where it's going, and then when you hit it, it goes in. This one says it's not recognized as an internal or external command, operable program, or batch file. And if I were to go in and delete that other file that I had in there that I ran, it would actually say something different. But it's a long process to get there, so I didn't do that. This is all that I have for this one. I hope you guys like it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Anyway, thank you.